Hey everyone, this is John and welcome back. This is our fourth video interview for our stroke awareness and raising awareness for stroke. This week we'd like to talk about the signs of a stroke, what we like to call FAST, F-A-S-T. You look at the face, if a person is showing signs of their smile drooping, they could be having a stroke. When you look at A, we look at the arms. If an arm is drooping, that could be signs of a stroke. S is for speech. If speech is slurred or broken in any way, that should raise awareness. And T for time, because time is of the essence when a person is exhibiting these symptoms to get help and get help right away. And that's the cornerstone of what we're trying to get done here with raising awareness for stroke and stroke victims. I speak for a lot of people because I'm fortunate enough to do a lot of work, hard work, a lot of love from friends and family, and more importantly, the grace of God, that I'm able to sit here and tell my story to you, because I speak for so many people that I've gotten to know since this has happened to me. They can't tell their story. And I have a lot of respect for them, and I want to help them as well as others so they don't have to go through what my family and I have gone through. See, when I had my stroke, it was from a chiropractic manipulation. I am a fan of chiropractic. I grew up in a chiropractic family, and I still believe in chiropractic. But at the time this happened, I didn't know that a cervical manipulation can cause a stroke. As soon as I had the manipulation done, and it was no different than any other manipulation that I've ever had before, other than the fact that I knew something wasn't right. I was lightheaded, I had problems with my speech, and my balance was extremely bad. The chiropractor, not knowing what was going on, after an hour of me not feeling well, I could not drive my car. I had to call a family member to come and pick me up. He allowed me to leave their office, again, assuming that he didn't know what was going on. I went home, laid down for a little bit, and after a little bit of rest, I felt a little bit better. And then later that evening, I tried to eat some dinner. And as soon as I put some food in my mouth, all hell broke loose. I was a mess. The room was spinning. I couldn't stand up. I couldn't talk. I couldn't communicate. I was in pretty tough shape. At that point in time, my wife took me to the emergency room. When I got to the emergency room, and again, I'm sharing this story so people understand, I was exhibiting all the classic signs of a stroke. But because I was young and I was healthy, that wasn't considered by the hospital. When I finally got into the hospital, into the emergency room, they did a neck x-ray, and then they tried to give me some medication for a migraine. At that point in time, I became violently ill. I believe that I was in the throes of a stroke right then and there. My head was pounding. I was extremely sick. I couldn't hold anything down. I couldn't stop vomiting. So they did a CAT scan. After the CAT scan, my wife and I waited for about an hour, hour and a half, and then they said that they didn't see anything on the CAT scan and that I was having a migraine, and they sent me home. That was about 2 o'clock in the morning. At about 6:30, 7 o'clock the next morning, my children and my wife found me on the floor in our living room, crawling around and vomiting. My wife called the doctor right away. The doctor had called the hospital, called my wife right back and said that they had found something on the CAT scan and that there was an ambulance on the way and I needed to get back to the hospital. When I arrived back at the hospital, there's a neurologist there, and his general impression was that I had a stroke and that he ordered an MRI and an MRA to confirm that. Then the doctor left the hospital. When he left the hospital, he never signed the forms, or I guess the consent forms, to have this done. So I had to wait another 4 or 5 hours before they actually did the test. When they did the MRI, it proved that I had suffered a stroke from a torn vertebral artery. At that point in time, my wife, not being happy with the hospital and what we had been through, I went to another hospital. I went through rehab and some other things, but my point here is that I had a chiropractor that if he had just called 911 and cared, I wouldn't be in the position I'm in today. And then the hospital, if they had treated me and understood the signs of a stroke, this never would have happened to me. I want to be clear here. I don't want anybody's pity. All right? I'm fine. I'm concerned about this not happening to anybody else. So please do me a favor, continue to follow what we're doing here, continue to talk about it, continue to talk to your friends about it. We're looking to raise awareness, and we're going to continue to do it. God bless you, thank you for everything, and rock on.